Welcome back to our Verdon road trip, a perfect day trip for anyone staying in Nice or elsewhere on the French Riviera. In part 1, we cruised along jaw-dropping mountain roads, paddled across a turquoise lake, and took a swim right in the middle of the canyon. And today we're picking up right where we left off. Get ready for storybook streets and ice cream in one of France's prettiest villages, Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, a hunt for those famous purple lavender fields, and a drive along one of Europe's wildest canyon roads. And we're back on the road with our crew for the day. There's Chris, who organizes bespoke tours around the French Riviera, his friend Alex, Juan, Anya, Darius, and me behind the camera. We've just arrived in Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, one of France's prettiest villages, found a great parking spot, and now it's time to explore. From here on, it's pedestrian only, which means a lovely, calm walk into the village, more or less depending on the tourist traffic. Moustiers is famous for two things: its spectacular setting between two towering cliffs, and its centuries-old tradition of faience pottery. The local artisans here have been crafting these beautiful ceramics since the Middle Ages, and there's even a dedicated pottery museum in the village. The narrow lanes are lined with tiny boutiques, selling souvenirs, local honey, lavender products, and of course, handcrafted pottery. It's one of those places where you just want to stroll around and see what you discover. And if you look up, you'll spot the famous golden star hanging high between the two cliffs. Anya and I duck into one of these boutiques to cool down for a minute. Since they sell cheese and charcuterie inside, it's perfectly air-conditioned. Everywhere you turn, cute little streets and picture-perfect corners. Maybe a hat for the heat? Chris, you could totally pull this off. In the end, it's Darius who finds his new look. Chris promised us a cold drink, but first, this ice-cold fountain water tastes just as good right now. We keep chasing shady spots for little breaks here and there. And we have to repeat ourselves. This village, it's packed with unbelievable views. You just can't put your camera down. Moustiers is full of surprises too, like that tiny chapel up on the cliff. You can actually hike up there if you fancy, but in this heat, we'll pass. Now for that drink. Tucked away in a side street is one of the coolest little spots here, le bistrot des apiculteurs brasseurs. Their motto, zero Coca-Cola, 97% local and homemade. They make their own honey-based drinks and beers, and of course you can try their lavender honey and mead in the shop. We're sampling their two house-brewed beers, a light, easy-drinking blonde and a rich aromatic dark one. There's homemade lemonade on tap too, sweetened with local honey.
La limonade maison, 100% naturel.
Everyone picks their favorite, and we settle down for a little break in the shade. Afterwards, we cross this tiny stone bridge to the other side of town. And we have to check out this souvenir and pottery shop. At first, it's your typical knickknacks, but then, in the back, it opens up into a cave-like treasure trove, filled with handcrafted plates, vases, and other pottery pieces, all made right here. The workshop's in the very corner. You can watch the artisans at work if you're lucky. We continue to the cutest square yet, where we find Bondy à Moustiers, a pottery shop straight off a postcard. Wow, we like what we see. Some of the designs here are really stunning, and everything's handmade, one of a kind, and very tempting. And then it's finally time for that ice cream Chris promised us, with some rather unusual flavors too. Next, we admire the beautiful Notre-Dame de l'Ascension church, a Romanesque Gothic gem dating back to the 12th century. We literally walk through the church and end up in another cute alleyway. And finally, we head into what might be our favorite pottery shop of the day. But like always, of course, it's all a matter of taste. And with that, it's time to chase the next adventure.
Chris is taking us to the lavender fields now, and it's only 25 minutes.
We're leaving the mountains behind and heading north, straight towards the famous Plateau de Valensole. The landscape opens up, the rocky cliffs turn into gentle hills, and you can already spot stretches of lavender shimmering in the distance. The first purple fields appear to our right, and trust us, it's only going to get better from here. Soon the scenery is a mix of bright yellow wheat fields and endless rows of lavender, with hazy blue mountains as the perfect backdrop. Just beautiful. We'll have to pass through the tiny village of Puy-Moisson, and just after that, things get seriously photogenic. There are even signs along the road warning about lavender tourists suddenly darting out to take pictures. Meanwhile, in the back seat, Alex catches a quick nap while we keep chasing those purple waves. Chris has a special spot in mind, and when we finally pull over, wow! Endless fields, a soft hum of bees in the bushes, and 3 picture-perfect trees standing in the middle of the lavender. Good call, Chris. As mentioned before, this whole region is called Plateau de Valensole, one of the most famous lavender-growing areas in Provence. From mid-June to mid-July, the fields turn this surreal shade of purple, drawing photographers, road trippers, and even the occasional bride in a white dress. And we dive right in, posing, snapping, getting that cover shot for the video. The wind's picking up a bit out here, and honestly, it feels amazing in the heat. After soaking up every angle of this spot, we're off again. One more stop though. Chris promises there's a field where the rows of lavender roll like gentle waves across the plateau. And he wasn't lying. The view here is just ridiculously beautiful. We mess around a little more with the cameras, get a full-on group photo shoot going. And then it's time for the final adventure of the day. Next stop, the wild, rugged north side of the Gorges du Verdon. It's 6 p.m. now, and we're passing by Moustiers-Sainte-Marie one last time. But instead of heading back down to the lake, we turn north, up onto the Rive Droite of the Gorges du Verdon. From up here, you get another incredible view of the Lac de Sainte-Croix. This bright turquoise lake was created in 1973, when the valley was dammed to form a reservoir, and it's now the 3rd largest lake in France. Its unreal color, when the sun hits it right, comes from glacial minerals carried down by the Verdon River. And yeah, it's every bit as inviting as it looks. As we wind our way along the narrow road, things get seriously dramatic again. The road's carved straight through the rock, with the Verdon River glimmering far below. Tight curves, towering cliffs, and that turquoise water. It's just one wow moment after the next. We're heading to Castellane. But first, if you're up for a proper adventure, this is where you turn off for the Sentier Blanc-Martel, the most famous hiking trail in the gorge. It's a 16-kilometer trek through the deepest, wildest parts of the canyon, with tunnels, ladders, and jaw-dropping viewpoints. Not today for us, but good to know for next time. A few more bends in the road, and we're back in the sun, arriving at Point Sublime, the most famous viewpoint in the whole canyon. It sits just below the tiny village of Rougon, known for its resident colony of griffon vultures. These massive birds can have a wingspan of up to 2.80 meters and spend their days circling high above the cliffs. Bring your binoculars to spot them. Time for a quick snack stop, and leave it to Chris to have everything covered. Mixed nuts, a fruity cake, even wet wipes for our sticky fingers. Absolute legend. While the guys decide to stay behind, we girls head up to the viewpoint. It's only a few minutes walk and totally worth it. From up here, you get a breathtaking panorama of the gorge, with cliffs plunging 700 meters down to the river. You can actually spot where the Sentier Blanc-Martel weaves through the canyon below. It's one of those places that makes you feel tiny in the best possible way. The sun's already dipping and the others are waiting, so it's back to the car for one last stop of the day. Next up, the picture-perfect town of Castellane, with its famous chapel perched high on a cliff above the village. And we've made it to Castellane. Anya and I have been here so many times before, but it actually took us ages to discover the little old town that's tucked away behind the main square.
Apéro somewhere?
Yes, please, Alex, you're speaking our language. And here we are, we found the perfect spot. Shady, central, and with cold drinks on the table in no time. Time for a little debrief, and most importantly, a huge thank you to Chris, who pulled off the ultimate day trip for us. All we had to do was hop in the car. He took care of everything else. Santé, everyone. And now, there's just one thing left to do. Let Chris drive us all the way home. If you enjoyed coming along with us on this epic road trip through the Gorges du Verdon, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let us know in the comments if you've been here or if it's on your bucket list now. And if you love the south of France as much as we do, there's plenty more coming your way. So stick around, we'll see you soon on Riviera Go.